Hello everyone, Flash Notion here, back for another reaction to Soul Eater. And it will be an actual reaction this time, because I'm double, triple, constantly looking over to see that it is recording. Yeah, I'm doing this right this time. Why are my lips not fucking moving? I don't fucking know. Whatever. My head actually moves, even if the lips don't, so you can kind of tell the expression. I can still cycle through them all like this. Yeah. Okay. Uh, right. So, Soul Eater. Last time on, we had just so many layers of disappointment. um, but in all seriousness, Stein is with Medusa now, and Krona and Marie are going for him. Maka and Solar now as well because these stupid kids don't know how to listen to the adults. Um, to like a frustrating degree, unlike in like My Hero Academia. Um, and Arachnophobia is spreading the madness around the world, and they've somehow found out that that the assault is coming. So either their lookouts are better than the DWMA anticipated, or there's like a spy maybe. Um, but there's just a lot of questions regarding uh, Avon and Death and these magic tools and yeah, just a bunch of other stuff like that. So the conclusion of this series is nigh, and I, for one, am grateful because yeah, it's getting frustrating watching this show. Um, so yeah, I don't know what else there is to say like that hasn't already been said. So how about we just get into it, shall we? Right, do that. Uh, and now I get to do something that I was so excited to show this off last time I recorded for this series, and at this point it's just it's so I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's try this. All right, so we'll be starting in three, two, one, play. Okay, so a quick check of the list of characters and voice actors did in fact confirm that Christopher Swat, aka Piccolo, aka All Might, he, the man himself, is the voice of Avon, which really puts a different spin on it. I don't think, I mean, I guess Christopher Swat has played bad guys before, but usually for only like bit roles. And Avon seems like a fairly important role. Like, I know there's not many episodes left, but I feel like in the coming episodes, we're going to get to see a little bit more of Avon, and hear his voice a little bit more. I might be wrong about that, but I feel like that's true. Um, so if that's the case, maybe I don't think Avon is actually like a bad guy. Like I don't know if that was clear from the way that the show was presenting him before this, but yeah, I'm just calling it that Avon's not a bad guy. Um, I don't think it was his fault that the clowns just murdered everybody. Uh, I mean, maybe it was, but like well-intentioned programming gone wrong. Anyways, at the very least, Avon is well intentioned. Obviously, we know what the road to hell is paved with, but like, yeah. So, uh, I mean, yeah, these are kind of nothing episodes again. Like we're back to that part where like technically nothing actually happened here. Like none of the bad guys were actually defeated. None of the good guys actually accomplished much of anything. Aside from uh, aside from Kid getting the key and like at the moment that's basically a side quest, not directly like influencing the main plot here. So it really does just feel like nothing happened for these two episodes. Um, that said, between Kid's fight with the clowns and the fight against Medusa there and Stein just a little bit, like, there was some actually cool action in this set of episodes. So, even though it really does feel like nothing actually happened, it was still an entertaining set, still a really good bit of well, watch material. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right there. Aside from just like, yeah, I actually enjoyed this bit of nothing for what it was. And beyond that, I mean, yeah, right now the plot is suffering from oh, I don't know what quite to call this syndrome, but like, so we've got Black Star, who's trying to fight his way through the Arachnophobia's forces so he can fight the Kishin, which, according to everything thus far, is actually Maka's job. Um, then we've got Kid and his side quest with the key. Maka is off chasing after Medusa, and she only just gets there at the very end, so like that kind of does nothing. We've got Krona and Marie, they are now joining up with Maka, but they were separate for a while. We've got Death and Spirit and Azusa back at Death City and doing their thing. And then we have all of our, like, not quite tertiary characters. We got JB and Blaine and them building, like, the magic tool combo machine. And we've got all of Medusa's forces and whatever they got going on, their grand plan. So, like, there's a lot of different threads to follow, and rather than focusing on one, following it to its endpoint, and then picking up a different one and following that to its endpoint and repeat, like if we're comparing this, My Hero Academia season 4, the raid against the Shiei Hasaikai. I pronounce that differently every time. Shiei Hasaikai. That's how it's supposed to be pronounced. The Yakuza. The raid against them, we would stick with one character usually. And follow their point of view up until the time where they completed whatever it was they were doing, and then we would go back and follow a different character from where we last saw them up until they catch up with the present, and rinse repeat until all the characters got in the same location. And like that that worked. It was good and it was entertaining. And something happened. Every single episode was a complete story pretty much. There was no episode. Okay, there was one or two episodes before the raid started where nothing happened, but once the raid actually started, every single episode had something happen. And, you know, like here, I mean, we had the episode focusing sort of on Kid, but like his story isn't over. And meanwhile, we're also cutting away to all of these other stories, not focusing solely on Kid and what's going on with him, and as a result, it brings it all down. Um, Episode 44 had the best focus, I think, so far, like in that it was mostly focused on the characters getting to Stein, so Marie, Krona, and Maka a little bit, and then we had like a lot of time devoted to the fight once we got inside there, it felt like. But I don't know. No matter what though, it was like this arc as a whole is just showing off all the weaknesses of this show. Every single one of them. The pacing, the organization of the story elements, the lack of what's the right word? The lack of build up to characters and relationships and whatnot that really makes it hard to get invested in these stories outside of the ones that have actually had significant screen time, like Maka and Krona. Because like yeah, like even Marie and Stein, like I don't even care about what happens with Marie right there. Like if she dies, like that sucks, and it would probably cement Stein turning to the madness. But like, I genuinely don't care about that character. There's nothing about her that I care about or have latched onto. And, you know, the only reason why I am at all invested in what happens to her is because I am somewhat invested in Stein. And even then, you know, my investment in Stein is much lower than my investment in Medusa, Krona, and even Maka. So, like, the series is just. It's not great at anything that it's tried to do so far. Um, that's not to say it's bad. It's just not exceptionally good, and I can see the through lines where it could have been something absolutely fucking amazing. Um, and it's just not, and that's disappointing. Like that's my biggest takeaway from this series. It's not. I'm not upset. I'm not hating on it. I don't dislike it. I'm just disappointed that it's not what it could be. And like that's kind of frustrating because like I'm always a big proponent of judging something based on what it is rather than what it could be. But like this is different. This isn't a case of where it's like I had a fan fiction in my head before I started watching and the show's not living up to that. I went into this knowing very little about the series and I'm still disappointed because the show had certain ideas and concepts and characters, and the way that it's gone just doesn't live up to its own potential. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever quite watched a series like this before. Again, maybe like in hindsight later on, I'll look back on this series with fondness and I'll really like it. Like, I mean, I do really like it, but like, I'll be able to appreciate what it is more without wishing for it to be something better. Does that make sense? Like, I'm trying to think of like something else, some other series that could qualify that for that. I guess Transformers Cyberverse, maybe to a certain extent. Transformers, like, well, every Transformers series that has come out since Transformers Prime has, to a certain extent, qualified for that, I guess. um, but not to this degree, because like in that regard, it's a difference of like what were those Transformers shows trying to be, not what they could like they could have been something amazing, yes, but all they were trying to be was mediocre toy commercials aimed at young kids. This Soul Eater, it's clearly trying to be a shonen anime on par with the likes of, you know, a Dragon Ball or well, maybe not a Dragon Ball, but like, you know, one of the bigger series. It's definitely trying to be, you know, above average, and it's just not living up to that potential that it definitely has. Um, so yeah, disappointment. Wow, this started off like such a positive rant too, and it always comes back to the negative. All right. Let's try and end this off with something positive. Like, what's something positive I can say? Um, hmm. Let's see. Justin versus Kiriko. What's going on with Black Star? Nah. No, that's not really a positive. I'll reiterate the one positive point, like that's like unilaterally positive, is that when I watched the last two episodes, I don't know if I brought this up specifically in my review, um, but I assumed seeing Kid flying on his hoverboard there, I assumed that Kid was off on his own mission and that he wasn't listening to the adults and that he was going rogue because of his feelings. And I was very upset with him because of that. But then come this episode, and it turns out that no, he's not doing that. He's actually being a very good boy, and he's following orders, and he's doing a mission for his dad. Um, you know, regardless of the choices he makes moving forward, I'm just glad that I was wrong about that assumption and that I don't have to be that mad at the kids. Um, and, you know, in hindsight, like, Maka, I guess I can't be too mad at her either because it turned out that Krona and Marie did indeed need the help. But, like, I guess I can still be mad in the sense that, like, she had no way of knowing that. She just assumed. And therefore, you know, it could have gone very wrong. It could have been that Black Star needed her help more. But, you know, everything seems to be working out in that regard. So, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so, wrap this up. Very entertaining set. I'm not going to say it's good, but I'm going to say that I enjoy it. And we'll leave it at that. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go try and fix this fucking model. I'll see you guys next time. Alright, till then, bye-bye.